Howdy, everyone. I've got, I've already got a few people in here. That's awesome. I was running behind. I was trying to finish up some stuff, and it just wasn't going fast enough for me. How you doing, Papa? How you doing, Bruce? Can y'all hear me? Let's see if I can put up a poll. Okay, it only let me add four options, but that's okay. Put in your whatever your favorite tool company is. Just put it down in the comments and we'll all see it. So let's see. Howdy, Nate. Ain't seen you in a while. Um, Mac tool trucks suck. Don't like yellow. I like old snap on and some Mac co. Okay. How you doing, Sizzle? So I'll wait to engage in what I like and what I don't like until we get a few more in here. I understand that. I understand that completely, Bruce. Uh, oh man, I hate when I break wrenches. Was it just a lot of torque, or is it just over a long period of time that you broke it? It's good to see you too, Nate. How's the contract going down there at GE? Uh, Chevy, I understand. But with that being said, I would ask you to, because a lot of them work for you, but you know you got something that's sort of your favorite. You're going to try to get it from that brand first. Um, can you add none of the above? Well, see, I could only add four. I wanted to just add a bunch, so, but I couldn't add more than that. Milwaukee overall. Okay. Icon. Okay. Wasn't that tight? I took it off with the Pittsburgh Pro. So does that mean your gear wrench had a lot of use on it before and maybe was on its way out? Or I don't know. You're not late, Rob. You're right on time. Let's see. Still looking at 9 people. No more than any of my other tools. Yeah, I understand. Um, I know anytime I broke a tool, chances are there was a reason. I can't look back on one that was like pre-broke or every now and you'll get something and it's just messed up from the get-go. I just can't remember any that I've had like that. If not, I've probably sent it back. Tecton, followed by Blue Point, Snap-on. I have very selected though. Let's see how good their warranty is. Quinn is growing on me. In my experience, Craftsman was the best warranty. I don't think that's no more, but I hear they're trying to get back to that. So they've used to, after Craftsman got bought out and Lowe's had it, you caught heck a lot of the daggum Lowe's places trying to swap them in, and it was hard. I hear they're changing that. I hear now. I haven't had any experience with Harbor Freight warranty, but I hear as long as they got the tool in the store, they'll swap them out. I also hear some of the stores make you bring back the whole set and give you another, but I understand they're trying to change that. Snap-on. I've never had a problem warranting Snap-on, and it's even on some tools I bought at the pawn shop, which they don't necessarily have to honor, but they have. Mac and Matco, I haven't ever fooled with them. Cornwell is a process. If you don't have a truck, they want me to send in these broke tools. It's just, I didn't want to fool with it. It was 3 Torx bits, and yeah. I can't think of any. Sunex, I was missing some tools from my toolkit. I sent them a message, and they said, how much will it cost to replace them? What it was doubled. So I had like 2 5-inch extensions, and I was missing one. They said, how much would it cost to replace it? I said, this much, and they sent me credit for Amazon, and they sent me something. I forget what it was. But anyway, let me answer some of these. Craftsman and Harbor Freight, I don't have an issue. Favorite ratchets are made by Napros. Yeah, I hear the Napros is awesome. Biggest issue with Snap-on is the truck. I only had one issue with Snap-on. That wasn't really an issue. The guy that just wanted to see the 3/4 ratchet head that failed. Yeah, I understand that part. Papa, I understand. The trucks aren't always great to deal with. Now, I've never had a problem with them. I've got a pretty good dealer here. But I can imagine you can get a bad one and not be happy. I just haven't experienced that. So I can't tell you you're wrong. I can only say, or right, I can only say this is my experience. Is that my truck has to order almost all warranty stuff. You know, the trucks are weird. They sometimes, especially if it's a new truck, Snap-on says you have to have this on your truck no matter what it is they want to put on the truck. So they might load them up with a bunch of expensive stuff, and they don't have the money to stock it with other stuff. Especially if they're over their head, or they don't have a big operating budget, or whatever the case may be. Imagine me. I looked at getting into Matco. Well, there was a lot of things about it, but it was going to be very expensive. I had about $30,000 at the time that I could have invested. So the goal for me would have been to actually hold on to that money and borrow the rest So I'd have a little bit of operating income as I get going and get, moving, so I could pay my payments over those next first 6 months or whatever while I'm building the business, and so I could actually keep inventory. Um, so it can be very tough. I have called Snap-on, and they have warranted stuff for me through the internet as well. Let me go back through comments. Let's see. Yeah, that 3/4 ratchet, that'd be a hard thing to break. So if there might have been an issue with it to begin with. Swapped out a couple old Craftsman sockets and one ratchet at Lowe's. Yeah, they told me. Yeah, it. From what I understand, it's been changing, but also your people at Lowe's aren't always as experienced as they need to be with it. Yeah, so for Harbor Freight, I just don't know. I've never broke anything, I think, that I'm worried about going and warranting. I don't think I broke anything there, but I haven't. There's a lot of things I haven't bought from there either. One Snap-on dealer that would not warranty worn out sockets. Huh. Well, that's when you break it. But that was stupid. He should have, at the minimum, he should have said, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. If you bing it, if it's broken, I can warranty it. That's what he should have did for you. Called Snap-on. I've emailed before too. Yeah, they've been pretty responsive for me. I mean, Papa, that's kind of reasonable. Um, I go meet my guy. I would I would probably buy $100 a month, but I go to meet him because I'm one person, and in all reality, corporate sets up their routes and says you can go to these places, and to get an extra stop added onto your route, you have to clear it through corporate, or at least that's the way it was with Snap-on. I mean Matco, and I think it's the same with others. Um, yes, fuel's expensive. That's pretty awesome, Baldy. That you had a good experience with Craftsman as well. Yeah, I see that, Papa. Um, I know my dealer has a schedule, and everybody has a scheduled stop along that route, and he tries to stay for a certain amount of time at every place. But yeah, that's the way to do it, Rob. Break that doggone socket. Let's see. I wonder if Lowe's would trade out these stinky handle screwdrivers. If you put it in a vise and broke the tips off, they might, but then they might say that you used them as a what is it? Yeah, put them in there and then twist them and break them. That way they won't say you used them as a pry bar. Howdy, Frank. The weirdest warranty experience trying to warranty channel lock. Chain store counter people usually don't know that channel lock has a lifetime warranty. Yeah, and I've got some stuff that is, who is it? Stanley Black and Decker. I forget what it is, but I need to warranty it out, and I just haven't wanted to fool with it. Wow. Okay. That's kind of crazy. Thank you, Rob. So, just for everybody's information, I've been struggling the past week with a few things. That's why I haven't put up very few videos. And one of those things, other than some personal issues, is the fact that I am very unhappy with what I'm doing with the content I'm producing. I wasn't happy with what it looked like, and I wasn't happy with how it was performing. And I sat back and I'm like, what can I do to change it? I watched some other channels trying to figure out what they're doing. And so I added a few more elements to it, hoping to make it a little better. And I'm hoping over the next month or so, I can turn my content around. I'm probably going to change again where I'm filming from, because while I like that, it's not giving me the look that I'm wanting. Um, I want to get it, make it informative, but I want it to be engaging, and I want people to want to stay focused on it instead of get bored with it. So thank you. I am working on it, and we'll try to produce the best videos I can. But yeah, so if it takes me a while to produce videos over the next week or two, as I get things back in motion, understand I'm trying to produce a better video. That video took me about 3 times longer to do, from start to finish, than all my others, and it was like 18 gigabytes instead of like 4 gigabytes. A lot of the videos that I'm trying to do, Papa, I can't finish in 5 minutes. I'm trying to do them in 10 to 15 minutes. That's what I'm trying to do. But yeah. Should get replacement ratchets from Channel Lock for my road box. They're rough. Are they just wore out, or they rusty, or what? Quality over quantity? Yes, sir. I mean, if I thought it would be successful, I'd only do one video a week, but I'm not sure I'm at the point where I can only do one video a week, if that makes sense. Yeah, well, the watch time for that video was at 6 minutes last time, 6 minutes per person last time I looked at it. Let's see what it is now. And it's according to how engaging it is. I've got some that are horrible at like 3 minutes. And then I've got some that are much better. Engagement. Yeah, the engagement is 6 minutes and 43 seconds on this, but the reach is horrible. 362 impressions and only 12 views. So, yeah. 15 years old, not really maintained. I soaked them 1/4 inches toast. 3/8 crispy. I would probably just look for something else, especially if it's not too rusty and stuff. Yeah, check out the broke one. I don't know what they'll do with 3/8 if it's just crispy. Maybe get in there with a wire wheel and clean it up real good and try it again. Go to Harbor Freight and snag the thumb ratchet for 30% off. $3.50 and got an extension cord. That's awesome. I just don't think they're engaging. I look at the metrics and I can see that a lot of people are clicking off. Now, so where that one video says 6 minutes engagement time, for watch time. That means probably out of the 12 people who've watched it, 5 of them have watched it completely through, and the other 7 of them have watched just a little bit of it and clicked off. Turning into Jeff. Arnullo Rivera. I guess I'm going to show this. Snap-on is trash. Something in China means trash. Chechen in China, which means trash. Snap-on on Chinese. Okay. I saw a YouTuber, AVE, and he's had over 1 million subs. I just don't see why. AVE has been around a very long time. AVE is funny as hell in his earlier videos. I haven't been watching him in a long time, but I think he's like a mechanical engineer or something, and he will break a tool down and he will explain it, down to everything, the parts. He knows, what they're made of and just everything. And AVE, he's there's a reason he's got over 1 million subs. And I don't know if he is monetized now, but he refused to monetize for a long time. His videos hasn't been as good lately, but they used to be very entertaining. I'm going to go back to your comment, Arnolfo. And look, I'm not trying to be a Snap-on fanboy, but all of the hard line Snap-on branded tools are made in the United States. All of the toolboxes that are Snap-on branded are made in the United States or Canada. The Blue Point was made in Taiwan. That may have changed. And then I imagine a lot of their electrical stuff, and there's a lot of other stuff. Even though if it's branded Snap-on, some of the parts are probably made in China and Taiwan and others. Some of it is assembled here, but that's the deal. Snap-on hardline is not made in China. Snap-on hardline is made in America. There's a lot of plants turning out from forge to finishing Snap-on tools. Mac might be a different story. I have Mac branded stuff that is made in Taiwan. Matco, they don't make their own hardline stuff. They contract it out, but some of it is still made in America. So, yeah. My voice is a little hoarse. But, that's it. Cornwell, I think all of their hardline stuff used to be made in America. Yes, I agree. Some of them have some great stuff. Look, there's a reason why Harbor Freight chooses Snap-on to copy. Think about it. There's a reason they choose Snap-on to copy. And I don't know. I don't care if you don't like that statement. Just think about it. Yeah. Well, Papa, it's according to what you're talking about, that's Snap-on. I agree. Some of the electronics and some of the other non-hardline stuff is made in places other than the United States. But they have some very nice manufacturing plants in the United States that make their hardline stuff. They forge it here. They finish it here. There's a plant in Tennessee just all over the place. I agree, but look at some of the other companies. You know, a lot of them don't even put USA on it anymore. Um, yeah. So, what is my favorite? Uh, I, if I could only choose one tool company to buy from, and I've got to figure in cost and quality. That's a tough. That's a tough one because it's hard to do. Dang it! Why did I put myself in this corner? I love Milwaukee. I love Milwaukee stuff. I really like Snap-on stuff. I've never had a problem with it. Um, I love Wright. If I have to choose, it's probably going to be Milwaukee. Even though I'm not a huge fan of their hardline stuff, I think it would have to be Milwaukee. Um, but yes, very hard question to answer. Um, yeah. So let's look at this survey. Matco 0%, Mac 11%, Gear Wrench 33, and Snap-on 56%. Let's see. Snap-on locking pliers made by Grip-On or junk. I agree. Teeth strip out of them. The 100-tooth ratchet Snap-on came out with issues. I've heard a lot of that. So Grip-On, they don't, they still sell them, but they did buy the Malco plant where they made Eagle Grip. They were selling those on their trucks, and even though they're not going to use the uh, plant in DeWitt, Nebraska, they kept some of the machinery and sold off some of the other machinery. I don't know what they're doing with that, and I still haven't been able to find out, and I've been searching. From what I understand, they're going to start making them themselves. I just don't know when and where. They might have had a huge amount already made up from Malco. I know you can go to Epstein Tools or Harry J. Epstein, and you can buy Malco pliers for a pretty decent price. So, and those are some of the best vice grip or locking pliers you can get. They just don't have every variety. They have 8 and 10-inch flat and curved jaws, and then they have 2 different sizes of the clamps. $279 ratchet is no better than the $40 ratchet. Hey, you can't. I agree. The prices went up crazy though. Last time I bought one, it was like $140 or something like that, and it was a 3/8 drive flex head, long handle. That was off the Snap-on truck. But I bought 3 ratchets from them in the past 6 years. So the rest of them I bought through pawn shops. Yeah, the old Craftsman wrenches are solid. Screwdrivers are fairly solid. I love my Snap-on screwdrivers. I bought them 7, 8 years ago, and they've just been awesome. I don't know what the real wrench test is. I know I've watched Torque Test channel, and they've done some full in-depth testing on them. I've also watched Project Farm, and the Snap-on comes out pretty close to the top every time. If not, I mean they're not top anymore. I think the Mac and what's the other one? Right, are just a little bit come out a little bit better, but they come out real well. So younger days, Craftsman took the cake hands down. I agree. The market's really changed. You know, a lot of those Craftsman wrenches were made by Armstrong. Um, and they were pretty nice. I've got some Armstrong made Craftsman, and then I've got Armstrong wrenches, and they're both long pattern. They're pretty nice. But one thing about them is they were lobster claws. They would stretch the open ends would stretch out on you. Snap-on makes their tap and die sets. Irwin used to make them for them. Irwin had some of the best in the business when it come to tap and dies. I don't know about the new Snap-on. I do know Astro Tools made a real nice kit, and Gear Wrench made a real nice kit for a minute as well. I understand that, Papa, and that's me too. I don't. I'm not. I know it sounds like I'm trying to defend Snap-on. I want to clarify some stuff, at least from my experience and all the research I've done, because I've done a lot of research. There's something not right with it. I agree. Do y'all remember here? I don't know, maybe a year ago, they come out with a revision on a tool. It wasn't like a, big change, but it was just a simple revision. They changed some parts in it, and people were buying them, and they were breaking pretty much right out of the box. And they put a stop on that, told the sorters pull them off the shelf, and went back to the old tool. Tecton hard plastic screwdrivers, they're nice. I've got that sample. They're nice, and my son bought a whole set. Yeah, brand loyal. You got to buy what's best for you. You got to buy what does the job best for you, and there's so many factors: price, warranty, how it does the job, ease of warranty, ease of getting the tool. There's a lot to it. I have so many brands in my toolbox, it's ridiculous. I've got Astro, I've got Vim, dang it, Snap-on, Mac, Matco. I don't have very much Matco. Cornwell, Wright. Proto. You just keep going on and on and on, and I've got a lot of tools in there and a lot of different brands. The police department with blown motors in their Dodges. No, I didn't. That'd be pretty cool, unless you were running from them. Let's see where we're at on our poll. It hasn't changed. No one said Matco. That doesn't surprise me. And the reason it doesn't surprise me is Matco changes a lot. And, here a few years ago, they had a problem with they couldn't warranty your stuff because they didn't have any parts, because the people who made their wrenches went out of business. Or their ratchets went out of business. But, brand new Snap-on I did a review on was worse than a brand new Craftsman. flex was looser than the back drag was tighter, and I used both for 3 weeks. Craftsman was still better. That's pretty neat. And that was the 100 tooth you did a review on, Papa. Let's see. Husky has a no receipt, no question. That's cool. I haven't been super happy with the Husky stuff I bought here lately. I've got a lot of old Husky stuff that I like, but it was just that one box that I did. I bought a whole toolkit. While it was handy and would be okay to throw in your truck, I don't think it'd be something I would have wanted to use on a regular basis. Huh. I hadn't heard about that one. I'll dig into that one, Papa. I didn't know Matco just had another issue. That was on the news here in Chicago. Maryville, Indiana PD selling cars due to the design flaw dodges. Huh. That's cool. FLX 80B. Okay. Speaking of police, have y'all heard about that crazy deal in Eastern Kentucky where the sheriff shot the judge? I haven't dug in any more into it, but I've heard a bunch of rumors about it. If Nate's still in here, I bet you he's heard a bunch of rumors on it too. I seen that test too, Rivera, and yeah, I went and I've seen some other people talking about it, and here's what I would like to see. If we want to go by that test, and if we want to be completely impartial, I'd like to see that little piece of nylon, put one wrench in a vise, use that piece of nylon, and take the other wrench, have them facing both the same way, and see which one slips first 10 times, and then swap it. Put the other wrench in the vise and the other one out of it, facing the same way, and do it again 10 times and see who comes out on top out of 20 times. That's how I'd like to see that test done. A one-off test is just, there's so many things that could go wrong, especially a person holding it. You can change the way you're pulling on it and just everything. But a lot of people took that test to heart. Yeah, Rob, it was crazy. How you doing, Warren? It's good that you're home from work, man. I agree. Here's the thing. Anytime you step foot on a truck, they are there to sell you something. And they want to convince you that you need it in some way, shape, or form, because they don't make no money if they don't sell anything. Sizzle neck, not that I know of. I don't get a military discount. I do from a bunch of other places, but I didn't see it done the second time, Papa. Sorry about that, but it still needs to be done in a more controlled environment to get a true reading. And look, I'm telling you, I'm not trying to defend it. It's just, if we're talking about scientific, trying to get scientific results, you need to do a scientific test, which means a control and a control group and doing it multiple times and all kinds of stuff. 2 times isn't enough. 5 times isn't enough. It takes more. I'll have to look up that series. Let's see. What else we want to talk about? Y'all want to talk about what we're doing today, what we're giving away today? Let's see if y'all can see it. Yes, the icon is slightly thicker and has more surface area. I can't give away a new car. I can't afford a new car. I did just buy a bunch of new tools, and I'm going to spread those reviews and tests and comparisons out over the next 3 or 4 weeks. But I think I'm going to do a thing where I show all the stuff that I got at one point. I'll check that out, Papa. Who does it? Who does that video? But while I'm waiting on you to answer that one, let me show you what I'm giving away. I do not have any personal experience with this. I'm going to be asking you to let me know how you like it. Let me know what y'all think about this as tonight's giveaway. Gear wrench, 3/8 drive, 84 tooth, 11-inch long, teardrop ratchet. Looks like a nice ratchet. Like I said, I don't have any experience using it. I would like to get some feedback from whoever wins that. So what do y'all think? I'll check that out, test everything. Don and Walter not going to be in this one. You see. No. It is not a sealed head. Arnulfo, you will I will put your name in here and pull it in my little cup here. Let me stop sharing this. I'll put your name in my little cup here. Let's see. And you will let me know. And if I pull your name, if I pull your name, you'll send me your information. So, Papa, we'll put your name in there. Yeah, please sub to my channel if you don't already. See, Grant, I don't think Grant's in here. Bruce, there's your name. Okay, Sizzle, I appreciate it. Was Walter in here? Participants. He won anyway last week or week before last. Ron Novak, are you in here? Let's see. Rob and Sizzleneck. Papa said you could put me in twice. Man, we're missing Pete. Uh, Rob, you said no, thank you. Sizzleneck said no, thank you. Let's see. Jeff isn't here. Rick Hammer ain't here. Lisa ain't here. Frank, here you go. So I've got Frank, Bruce, and Is Takes Me, and Papa. Warren, here's your name. I think Warren. See you later, son. I love you, bud. Warren and Papa haven't won yet. Is Don? Yeah, Don won last week. I'm gonna put. Did you? I just buy the. Let's see, Arnolfo, or I'm just gonna put Rivera. Rivera. Here's yours. And who am I missing? Let's see. I've got Bruce. I've got Rivera. I've got Frank. I've got Papa. I got Warren. Who am I missing? If I'm missing you, let me know. I've got something going on. I got a light flashing or something in my living room. Chevy and Baldy, speak up. I don't think they're in here. It tells me I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm showing 8 participants, but I'm showing 11 people. 11 people. Hey, I got something going on. I'll be right back. Whatever it is isn't doing it. It isn't doing it when I go in there. See, it's doing it now. I think a light's going out, and it's just it grabbed my piece. You know, I don't. I have, protection. I don't feel the need. I don't worry about stuff out here. I know it could happen, but where I live, I don't have a lot of problems. There's not any problems along this street. In the 7 years I've been here, only problem we've had is a crackhead, meth head, something. He was all messed up, and he was just walking around, and he walked into someone's house. He didn't do anything. He was messing with something, but he didn't do anything. They called the law and they come got him. But out of 7 years, that's the only thing that's happened right here in our little neighborhood. And that was just a weird occurrence. But anyway, so Chevy, I don't know if you're still in here, but if you didn't hear me call out your name as having your name in the little deal, I'm gonna give you about one more minute to let me know. I've got Papa, I've got Bruce, I got Rivera, I got Frank, and I had one other person, and I have Walter. I mean, not Walter, Warren. My rule: don't pull it in unless you're going. That I agree. The only time I've carried a cowbell, the only time I've carried on a motorcycle trip or anything is my last big motorcycle trip where I went out west. And I wasn't really convinced I needed to even then. The only thing I was thinking about is if I decided to stop alongside the road in the wilderness and camp alongside the road or camp on off-site, just off the road, then, just to protect myself from a wild animal. That's the only thing I was, yeah. Or, you're out there, you never know who's going to pull up. It's just, I'll tell you a little something about me before, and when I get through this little story, I'll do this. So everybody, if you've watched my videos, you probably know that I am a Christian, or if you don't, you've seen the scripture that I write it on my little chalkboard and everything. I spent over roughly 4 years in combat. 3 of those in Afghanistan, 1 of those in Iraq. We got shot at a little in Iraq, some IEDs, but never any real kinetic combat. So like people would take pop shots at us, but they wasn't anywhere you would see them, right? They'd like shoot at you and leave. In Afghanistan, it was sort of the same thing. They'd blow you up with the IED, but they didn't want to engage with you. So if they're shooting at you, it might just be a pop shot here and there. The only time I engaged in direct combat, or I was engaged in direct combat, was in my next to the last deployment to Afghanistan. They sent a lot of indirect fire in, and then they started hitting us with some pretty big stuff, probably a Dushka and some 7.62, and they were doing it from a pretty good distance. And by the time I got up on the berm, while I was still getting shot at, all I could see was a couple of muzzle flashes well outside of my range with my little M4. And there was no sense in me wasting ammunition when I wasn't even going to touch them. And so I never killed anybody. I never even engaged in combat. I never had to stare down the sights of my rifle and shoot anybody. So now I've heard rounds going past my head. And if you've ever heard a bumblebee fly past your head, magnify that about 5 or 6 times. And that's what a 50 caliber sized round, which is, I forget what the Dushka is. That's what that sounds like going past your head. And then when it hits the concrete wall behind you, it makes a splat sound. So, but anyway, that's enough of that. I am going to, first of all, I'm going to read your comments, then I'm going to draw this name. I would rather have it and not need it. I agree. Cowards. I agree. Maybe. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of incoming, a lot of pop shots. Just yeah. Uh, I guess I missed the moral of that. I am glad I never had to do that because I think even though I was justified, it would have weighed on my conscience. And I don't ever want to have to deal with that. So, anyway, live in California, it's hard to get a CCW. Yeah, that sucks. You never want to run out of pew pew food when you need it. I agree. So let's draw this. Cross your fingers. Who have I got? Who is it? Papa, you finally won. So, Papa, I don't think I have your address. So I need you to send me your address and I will order that and get it to you as soon as possible. You're one of the few that's never won. I know I've got your phone number. So did everybody receive their stuff this week? Who did I send stuff to? Dang it. Comments. Let's see. Go back to channel content. Main thing I'm concerned about is, let's see. I don't even know if they're in here. Let's see. Okay, it was Leeser. Leeser that answered a question, and I sent him a little package. So, okay, I'll get that out to you pretty quick. So, Leeser won. Here a week or two ago, he answered a question about what I use the safety pins for, and he answered the back probe. And yeah, that's what I use them for, or I stick them through the wires, to get contact for my either multimeter or my power probe. So I was speaking of toolboxes, and I think I'll talk about this next week, but I was in Harbor Freight the other day looking at their toolboxes, their little portable deals, the little hard plastic cases, and I was not happy with them. The Husky seems way better than theirs, and they're priced very similar. So think about that if you're looking for them. Yeah, I appreciate that. Give me some feedback on it, Papa. I mean, you can use it in your video. I just want to know if it's a decent thing to be given away. Wow, Sizzleneck, that sucks. California has some beautiful places. I've been out there. I've been to San Diego. I've been in Los Angeles and playing around, and when I was young, and went to some places, gentlemen's clubs in some weird areas of town. And I've been up in, San Francisco. They're pretty interesting, but I just don't like their rules, their policies, their politics. It kind of just sucks. Hey everyone, I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. We've been in here for an hour, and I'm going to go ahead and get it off of here. Unless y'all want to talk about some pew pew stuff, but um, I've never been. I have been pulled over, but not since I've even had a weapon to carry with me, and even then, yeah, I'm going to have to go into this and tell them that tell damn it, Google that I talked about that, or YouTube that I talked about that stuff. Dang it. Hey, y'all have a great week. Be safe out there. Um, be blessed. Have a good night.